Um, as our camera closes in, it starts at the cloud level above the city. Um, as the first snowflakes of the season start to fall, we've transitioned from a muddy autumn into what looks to be probably a long and harsh winter, given how early it's starting. Uh, the snowflakes fall downwards. Nothing is, frozen yet, but the season's already cold. And so there's a chill to the air as Runa is walking with her mother back to the house that she has with her sister and niece. Or not her sister, her cousin. And
We can just say sister. It's
yeah,
close enough.
it is worked out close enough. Um, and the Runa has more of the people from the Revenge nearby than she has in months. She knows that Orm and Lucky are kind of, they're around in the city. They're giving some space. That they definitely have some questions for Runa, or not for Runa, but for Ingvild. As they had both been following the Odin, and now she is both their old captain and the Odin. So there's definitely questions as to the future and what's to come next. But those are all on the back burner for the moment. For the moment, Ingvild simply enjoying being free, and she's also adapting to her new self. We had last closed out with her talking about the difficulty that she was going to represent being in the city because there were Vendel that would still most certainly recognize her. Um, and as they're walking, she's kind of occasionally like pulling her hair back. You can almost see in her mind's eye, imagining like an eye patch or something similar, or like how they're going to change your appearance. But there's nothing about Engville that's not distinctive. So, um,
I'm curious because how similar does Runa look to Ingvild? Because a lot of Vendel have seen Runa and have not
they
flinched.
have, and many have kind of. I think we've had a point of several people who've kind of seen her and guessed at her heritage by virtue of the similarities alone. Which you got to figure this is a world without which has print, but not like photographs. So these are done by like artistic renditions and things like that, or those who've met personally. Um, so while she has a distinctive resemblance, that's most meaningful to people who have actually seen England. Does that make sense?
Okay.
For most though who know of England, they know of her by reputation. Um, and she's also missing something that she used to have, which is a whole lot of Scaregin marks.
Yeah.
Marks that she had never tried to hide before. Uh, there's also like the transition of her hair. There's a lot of like kind of factors about her potential recognizability, but she is fully aware that as both the High King slash Queen and the Captain of the Revenge return from the dead, those are both reputations that are going to they're going to go a ways. The Return from the Dead is probably even worse than the like former captain of the Revenge because presumably she would have only one reason to return from the dead. Um, and uh, she kind of stops and she looks at like the snow that's falling and starting to gather on some of the roofs. Um, and she shivers, but it's not from the cold. You can almost see kind of like memories that are not her own, like playing over her face. Um, and she speaks to. She says, "I see so many starving. So many winters have passed. Raids did not succeed. Says where crops failed. Says where the thanes that went out to gather resources to raid, they either came back with a full boat, villages disappeared. Um, and her brow knits, and she's clearly like thinking about it and like the shape that it must have had on like the culture as a whole. Um, they Vestan lands, by comparison to every other nation, they do not have much farmland. And what farmland they do have, it's not great. Um, so their life was sort of ever on the edge, whether they wanted it or not. And she she reaches down and she kind of draws him the like map of Vestan as Runa knows it in the dirt, and then starts to fill in some of the details that she remembered from Valhalla of like how they would have fit together. And she says, "Can you imagine what the Vestan would have been like if not for that dragon?"
Things would have been easier.
She kind of half smiles and she says, "I think I was a lot like many Vestan lands, thinking it all fairy tales and our stories, but." She says, "I've seen Valhalla and I've seen the dragon." She gives a little shake of her head. She says, "Sorry, there's so much and I haven't put it all into place yet."
That's okay. You can ramble to me all you'd like.
She says, "You know the last Odin? He was an Odin for a full year before he told anyone,
That's
begging on the streets."
that must be a lot to carry,
She says, "He just
being
thought it
Odin.
was madness." She
When you
says,
become Odin, do you need to figure it out all on your own?
"I'm not about to disappear anywhere." She says, "If anything, it helps that you've seen some of the things that I've seen. It's a reminder that it's not just a product of the madness or the memories or whatever it is." She says, "It feels like I've inherited a little of both."
Well, the second you start going mad, I'll let you know. But until then, you're just doing what you can, the way you know how.
She nods. Um, she says, "The revenge is yours."
It is ours, but I can take care of her.
Says, "The captain goes down with her ship, and I already did. It's yours." Says, "But I may ask for a ride from time to time."
Is she planning on going down on anyone else?
That was funny. I like that. Um, right. Then I'll take good care of her.
She nods. She says, "And when we go to rescue Chris," she says, "I'm in."
It's good to know. She wanted she wanted to come help me find you.
Then
It
that's
was
the least I
easier to
can
get to
repay.
you than it was easier to get to you than it was to her.
She just says, "Look," she's like, "It was easier to cross into another world than to get to Crescent." Actually, I understand it.
Unfortunately. Well, I shouldn't say that. I'm really glad that you're here. And she will
Wow.
be too. Things there do not look good.
I didn't expect them to.
I'm really worried.
She kind of reaches out, wraps her arms around Bruna, and hugs her.
She'll hug her back tightly, as you know. I think she's only hugged her mom like once since they've reunited. It's like, man, she really needs that hug.
And she squeezes her tighter. She says, I couldn't be more proud of the captain that I saw on the ship.
I don't know how much captaining I did. The ship the ship steered itself.
She says, captaining is not about the ship. She says, I saw a crew full of people who'd never sailed with you before, in a world unlike any they'd ever known, who had no doubts about their safety aboard that ship with you at the helm. That's what it is to be a captain.
I learned from the best.
She kind of smiles and she says, well, she says, you're very young, so you'll be doing better than me by the end.
I will do my best.
She kind of gestures up towards the snow and she says, did you do this?
No.
She says, well, let's all work on something that won't make it worse.
Right.
Um,
The storm in Valhalla, that was my first time calling a storm.
she says, it takes some getting used to calling on the lairds there
Yeah.
and sharing the same world with them.
Ow.
She kind of, her brow creases. She says, have you called upon ruin while you're here?
No. I have, well, Ruin put his rune on me. And I've only ever used that rune on my sword.
Um,
The sword that I stabbed Joran through the heart with.
she smiles at that. Um, and she's sort of lost in thoughtfulness for a moment.
What is it?
Just as I'm just thinking about our people in the future. Whether there is even bound to be one with whatever it is he's planning. She says, something in my gut tells me that what he wants is an end.
He was in my vision. And then I don't remember anything after that.
Says he was why you were lost for so long.
What I also saw in my vision was the Wachtturm crumbling, so I have a feeling it has something to do with that.
She kind of breathes out. She says, I was in his prison for a time. Says, and it was agonizing, but I thought at first it was the prison doing that to me, the prison itself being painful. But after a time, I realized it wasn't that. It was the echo of his experience. It was the pain that he felt being remembered by the place. Says, I think I felt for a moment what it was like to be him.
I don't know what we do about him. And I don't know how to save the world.
She says, I don't either. She says, but you do know how to get through a storm. And that's all we can do sometimes.
That's what it's felt like since I got here, I think. Well, since I realized that I was here,
She nods.
I think
Since you came
I
back to
was
yourself.
out of it. Yeah.
She says, were you locked away inside yourself or were you somewhere else?
Do I know?
She doesn't really.
I'm not sure.
She says, I wish for a better answer, but I know when there isn't one.
To be fair, I don't remember.
She nods.
It was the vision, and then I was here.
And she pulls her into another hug.
Yeah.
And then sort of lets her go reluctantly. Says we should probably get somewhere with.
Sorry, the last bit cut off.
She says we should probably get somewhere with a fire.
We're not too far from home.
Say that again yourself.
We're not too far from home.
And she nods and kind of picks up her pace, and we'll drop the curtain with her kind of disappearing into hearth and home, and getting greeted by Sora and Brandy, and there's a very excited Brandy that's like, snow, snow, do you see snow? There's like there's like not even like an inch in the ground, but she's already like ready to go out and play in it.
Of course, she's going out catching the snow on her tongue.
But we will drop the curtain there, and we will say hello to everybody and introduce ourselves. So thank you, everyone, and welcome to the Shadow of the Wachtturm. Our producer tonight is one of the moderators of 3020 Gaming, the delightful and compassionate Gloriosa. Our lore master for the series is the beautiful and benevolent Syndra. Before we get started, I wanted to give a content warning. While the Spirit of Seven Sea is swashbuckling adventure and shadowy intrigue, the story will deal with mature themes, including death, loss, suicide, and grief. Eisen, our setting, is recovering from a 30-year civil war over religious differences. It may get dark sometimes, and there's no shame in bowing out if it's not a place your head can go at the moment. So, without further ado, I'm going to have our savvy swashbucklers introduce themselves, starting with our most elusive swashbuckler, who seems to get forgotten from time to time, Runa.
Hi, I'm Ruth. I am here today as Runa. I am here for one more time on whatever Tuesday that we do it on as Exit for our epilogue for our Cyberpunk Red game. Sorry, I know what game is next. I just also remembered that there's a game coming up.
Oracle
I'll do that
Force.
at the end. Oracle Force every other Wednesday. On Thursdays, I'm here as Nora, and coming soon to a Twitch stream near you. I will be here on Mondays, and I haven't figured out his name yet, but I'll be there for Pandora's Gifts. the first show of the day. Yes, that is all for me. For convenience, I will go with Hans.
Hey everybody, my name is Rory. But man, guys, I can't believe I haven't seen you guys since last year.
Hey.
Get out.
Been forever.
Just say the Soldier Boy line and let's move on.
He's like, get on with it, kiddo.
Well, I mean, yeah, we have places to be and things to do this episode, so yeah, keep it short and sweet. I'm here every Sunday that I'm able, playing everyone's favorite sprinting around town Soldier Boy,
You.
Hans Reifenstahl. And yeah, you can also find me here on this wonderful channel on Oracle Force Wednesdays for a wonderful campaign of Masks: A New Generation run by the Scarred Adventurer, playing Graviton, science-based nonsense, gravity superpowers, etc., etc.
The best kind.
Very fun and cool. Awesome game with some awesome characters. You should definitely check it out. And yeah, I think that's all I really got to talk about. So hot potato, Gav, you go.
That's me. Hi. I am Bison_Stonefist. I'm a regular on this channel. I'm currently only here 2 nights a week, but it will soon be 3. Tonight I play Gav the Grin, our lovable sewer surfing suplex machine. And on Tuesdays, I am the person who's in charge of the Cyberpunk Red campaign. I say that because it really, we were all just sort of in charge. Yeah, it's a car racing down the highway, which is actually how the show ended, interestingly enough. And on Thursdays, I play Garrett Sakes, our emo kid before emo was cool, but maybe after emo was cool. Time is a weird soup. I will be in Pandora's Gift on the earlier show as Bothades Caridia. He is a humble forge cleric of Hephaestus. It's going to be a good time. Other than that, I am a provider of memes and YouTube shorts on the Discord. That's kind of what I do. Yes, Kyle, actually. Anyways, Molly survived the whole game. Barely.
Her stupid mom van that was stolen for
But
her. She's
from a
had the
high
whole
school.
game. She's had it the whole game. Everyone
Yep.
grew up there. And by
Everyone grew up.
I mean memories were made. People have bled in my seats. Exit mostly.
Yeah. So yeah, that's 1 minute I'm trendy, the next minute I'm retro. That's pretty accurate. And he doesn't know what minute that's gonna be. There's no warnings. But yeah, other than that, I'm a regular on the Discord. I'm here all the time. Let's go with Sarah.
Hey y'all, my name is Sarah. I go by Sans on the Discord. I am currently here 3.5 nights a week. It's about to be 4. I'm here tonight as Rosa Nix, our Strago who can't stop giving herself up. I will be a part of our Pandora's Gift night group with my first cleric, actually. And she's just the best cleric in the world. So, yeah. I am in our last episode, which is coming very soon, of our Cyberpunk Red game, Carnage Heights, as Hecate/Magic. I still have up My Girlfriend is Hot, and I like that one, but Ruth is not here. I'm also in the Wednesday game Mask I need to fix these. Oracle Force Mask game as Nightwish They gave me the normal person, y'all. I don't know why. And I am the DM for our Chaos Incarnate game, Deviant Paradox. I'm the only one who knows where we're headed, and that's how it should be. And other than that, when I'm not here, you can find me over on Takeover Productions working with Scar Adventurer and Rock Paper Fox on stuff and things that'll come out eventually. I think Glory's left, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
Hi everyone. I am Blaze of Gloriosa. I am the producer and a cast member on this show. I am the producer for the Wednesday night game. Oracle Force Mass A New Generation. That hasn't been said before this whole session. I also produce for Thursday nights. I think I have an idea of where things are going, but I'm just there to watch and make faces. I'm not gonna lie.
Send me movies.
I refuse. Because then you might use them. I play here on Sundays as Honorine. She's our resident noblewoman, keeper of the journal, girlfriend of Shadow Man, mother of dragons. She's the unburnt, I guess. I don't know. We might be headed anyway. She's here. She looks after people sometimes. She's got a lot of catching up to do with her aunt. So let's go talk to Bat Kyle and then we'll get to it.
Hi, folks. It's me, Bat Kyle. You found me. And you can find me here on Sundays playing Len, the owl man at this point, Costin, because he's spent more time as an owl than I think any other form by this point. Otherwise, you can find me on the Discord, posting unhinged food memes and generally being a menace, or in the cast or in the chats when any of these other games are streaming, also being a menace, trying to break everybody, especially Sans, but not just Sans. And you know, I've got ideas, they're just not happening yet, so be on the lookout or beware, either way, however you feel about Bad Kyle ideas. And so let's go over to Ruth, because we've, you know, skipped her at one point, so obviously she needs to do 2 introductions to make up for it.
No thanks.
I need to start out my introduction by noting that Len has changed his screen name in our Discord or in our Zoom chat to Caked Up Owl, but I read it as Coked Up Owl at first, and I was like, oh well, tonight's going to be interesting.
I mean, he's got a lot of flying to do.
I'm just hearing like the fastest, like whoo 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 whoo.
You want to get some wisdom, kids?
How many licks does it take to get to the center?
I am Siosa. I am the GM of the Shadow of the Wachtturm, and I am also the only one who knows the direction that this campaign is going, besides downhill with the wheels coming off. And my lovely Cinder has just let me know that the cooked up owl oils has been clipped. So fantastic. I am allergic to social media, so if you want to find me, you'll find me here on Sundays, or you'll find me on Discord. And comments on the YouTubes are also appreciated. So with that, I think we should get ourselves going. So let's actually cut into, you know, cold nights are it's not been the first of them that Hans has had to deal with, as like, you know, the guard and stuff like that, but it's the first night that he's sort of realizing just how much being the captain and preparing an army are mutually exclusive activities, because there's a lot that needs to be dealt with on the captain side in the way of like the guard will do things before certain like winter nights, like they'll organize to hand out like daub and limestone to help reinforce walls for heat protection and stuff. And they will make sure that there's nobody that's like falling asleep on the street, because that just means that there's a body to clean up in the morning. Sometimes that means putting people into a cell for the night. Not necessarily on charges, although sometimes if they're grumpy about it, they'll find one. And for the most part, the intent is to make sure that they don't freeze to death. But it means that it's a busy night as the snows are starting to fall. They're sort of looking into all the places that they know people will hide out. There's a group that's like down in the sewers, making sure that there's nobody that's about to become sewer monster food. Because
Yeah.
while the sewers are a little bit warmer than everything else, they are not safe. So
No.
and there are oftentimes a few new visitors to Freeburg who discover that the hard way. So Um, so the it's the early part of the evening, um, with kind of miles of meetings to have as yet, as far as like organization and training and talking to like the members of the Wakund, but Anna, complete with like scarf and very very much a new wool hat that covers her ears and is fur lined. She is not used to being outside of the palace, and she's at one part sort of like exulting in it, but she's also kind of like, did you know it gets extremely cold out here? And this isn't even like the heart of winter yet. You know what I'm saying? But she's arrived, she's got like a basket with some soup that she's picked up from like a vendor along the way. Um, and she just kind of, holds it up in like silent offering.
Yeah, it would be nice. Where's he at right now? Is he at the guardhouse still? Like kind of
I think he was like on the streets, like with the other soldiers, kind of like doing the patrols, looking for anybody who might be a straggler.
okay.
And for reference, I think this is something that's actually only being done in Finehearth at this point. Does that make sense? Like the patrolling, like the other districts are just like, if you stay outside because you didn't have a place to stay, you freeze to death, and then we deal with that in the morning.
They're kind of just like, don't do that.
And so I'm picturing it as something like Hans has been like, let's not do that.
Yeah, why just let people die, y'all? Come on.
Um, there's a reason that he has the highest reputation of the captains in the city. So we're trying to give it some due.
Fair enough. Is my reputation right now?
I think everybody is actually overdue for like an update on their reputation. So
Maybe
it's
been
like
60 for a while.
It's been 60 for a while, but we're also talking about raising it to levels where it's like international, effectively, reputation
yeah.
at that point.
Yeah.
So like you guys have been maintaining real well, but then it's also like once it's pushing over a certain point, it does become harder to gain more. Does that make sense? Now the
That
fact
makes
that you've
sense.
done like you've been associated with like a international jailbreak in Montaigne, etc. Um, there's going to be some potential, but I'm not having that be the focus of this episode. So I'm going to kind of review. So, but she has soup with her. Kind of, we can find a table, or probably more sensible to go inside somewhere.
Ooh, yeah, get up. Oh, get up the wind. Oh, God.
Um, she says, I took some of the money you left at the house and brought enough and left it by the guardhouse so that those who are brought in tonight will have something to eat.
Oh, it is good. It is good. Looking around the streets and just like, it's just so many people who need more help than we can give them.
She nods. She says, do you remember Winterfest? She says, it was a long time ago, I guess, but
Anything from before the past few years is difficult at best to recall, unfortunately.
This is the villagers that would work in the town. They come into the palace, and father and the servants would feed everybody. She says for days, small presents. She says wooden toys for children, and she says new coats and scarves and the like for villagers.
Yeah, yeah, okay. Remember a little bit of that.
Um, she says I think half of them were canceled with problems with the war, but
Yeah,
um,
as a way of as a way of disrupting even the simplest of things.
she nods. She says, but I remember we had a sled that would usually come out with the first snow and travel through the town. And
Oh,
hand out
yes,
clothes.
yeah, yeah. I remember that one. Yeah, it was fun. First big snow of the years.
She says, I don't know if father kept promising you that you could drive it next year, but he kept promising it to me and then it never happened.
And told me a few times, and then it, you know how it goes. But there was a few times, yeah.
um, she nods. She says, there was a long time that I thought that that's what it meant to be a Reifenstahl. She says, just handing out scarves and buns. She says, it's driving the sled through town. Says, too young, I guess, to understand all the rest of it.
So I don't know if you ever truly understand a station like that. I mean,
Maybe not.
what do we do about that? I've been it's away at me the last, I mean, since raiding the palace and a few things before. What do we do about who we are? I mean,
she's thoughtful for a moment, and she says, I know there are things in books that Reifenstalls have done that I should be proud of. She says, but the things in books,
I mean, a different time, a lot of them. Years, decades ago, mostly.
she nods. She says, the ones before father, she says, I guess, grandfather. She says there was never any war over faith. There were skirmishes with the Montaigne and the Vidaci. She says small things. She says, but there was never a war like that. That was something new. She says there were objectionists in the country long before then. Generations, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't seem like a problem. No, there was never. It wasn't so sudden.
The church asked.
Yeah, I mean,
I think to know that you would have to ask the church.
it would be the most shocking thing, in all honesty. I mean, not that given some of the things we've seen them do here, but the people they've sent.
Um, kind of looks towards the great Draconized cathedral that's visible like completely across town. It's like the second largest monument next to like the Wachtturm itself, and only marginally like smaller than the Bone Bridge, but the Bone Bridge doesn't like rise up in the same way. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of more or less flattened. And she looks at like it's made up of like literal bone with like stained glass between it and stuff like that. It's beautiful, but there is something like particularly morbid about thinking about like they've literally built a church inside the skeleton of a creature.
Yeah.
Um, and she just sort of like studies it for a moment and she says that is the most eyes in church I've ever seen.
Yeah, it is distinctive. That's that's for sure.
Um, she says, "What do you think happened to the Draken? The real ones, the big ones."
Oh, I have no idea. I mean, I- how an army could even bring down a creature like that is beyond me. I mean, people have people have bombarded the tower, artillery. There was a bomb went off on the Bone Bridge, and they not a
She says,
scratch.
"I heard all it did was wipe a terrible tavern off the map."
Yeah, not you wouldn't even tell. By the next day, wind and rain wash away whatever soot sticks to the bones. You couldn't even tell.
Um,
Maybe they were sent away by something else. But
she nods. And she kind of like she wraps an arm around uh Hans's arm and kind of like leans against it. And she uh just says, I don't know if I've said it. I think I have, but just in case, she says, "Thank you for coming for me."
you don't even have to thank me. It's I'm I'm glad I remembered you.
She says, "I'm sorry whatever deal you made to come back." She says, "Took so much from you, but I am glad to see you again."
I mean, I think it was more the dying that did the damage, but I'm
She, well, your eyes are very, very freaky.
yeah, there is that. That's it. That's a newer thing. I don't know. I try not to think about it.
She says, "So what do we do about the whole Viking School business?"
That's the that's the million guilder question.
I will stay silent about it my entire life if it is needed.
I did not even know until recently, and it was of no consequence. I mean, if there were people who would have recognized us, they're either dead and gone or far away. But
She kind of,
part of me thinks something must be done, but
she says, "Have you told Logan?"
not yet. He's been so busy, and he's had to deal with so much. I did not want to add to his worries quite yet, but I should at least tell him soon.
She nods.
I mean, maybe he would have some insight. Young man thrust into the seat of a Konig.
if nothing else, he's somebody who might have known more about. He was a Seeger, so
Yeah.
they were the enemies of the rifle stalls. And I don't think Logan thinks of himself that way, but he would have a different perception of us. He might be able to give you a clearer idea what it would mean to people if you announced yourself as one. She says, well, let's go get some soup before it's cold.
Look in, they'll offer an arm as they
Yeah. So we'll cut to, I'm gonna assume that it's like the next, do you think Gab has like formally requested a meeting with Wilma? Or
Okay, I am unmuted. I think Gav actually waits for a quiet spot and comes in kind of unannounced.
oh, he probably and in being at the Hall of Records as much as he is and stuff like that, he probably knows both where Wilma lives and the route that she takes into the city hall.
Mhm.
So if he wants to speak to her like en route, he can.
Yeah,
I imagine.
I think.
I
Sorry,
just
go
want to
ahead.
add this in that I imagine that Rosa is there at City Hall first thing in the morning because there's usually like a meeting with her and with Logan and Wilma. So
Beg pardon, Frau Probst. I have a question, and I'm afraid it is somewhat urgent.
she nods. She says, "Is this something you can ask me on the way, or is it something that needs to be done quietly?"
Uh, Prefer quietly.
Um, she says, "Quiet enough we should take the tower up, or quiet enough that we can handle it in the city hall with just Zucker looking out for prying ears."
We can do this at City Hall. I think Rosa would also like to hear this.
She nods. Um, she says she's usually here by this time. She says, "I think it's my turn to bring in some breakfast sausages." She says, "But I'll get some extra for you." And she does exactly that. Like there's stops at a cart and grabs some along with some like scrambled eggs and
Solid breakfast.
yeah, they're like full like bratwurst kind of breakfast sausages. But she smiles at the sight of Rosa. She gives her an embrace and she says, "Gav has requested a conversation with me." She says a private one, but he thinks that you'll have some interest in it. So and she kind of, goes through the normal motions of like letting Zucker know, like, we're gonna have a private conversation, if you can keep an eye. He immediately like, oh, I see you already have refreshments. And a tone that suggests he's a little offended by it. But not like
But that's like
seriously.
my job.
Um, and for her part, she's like, I heard a dozen size to size women 2 nights ago. I'm sure you have your hands full. Zucker does kind of like give a nod at that. Like, a few of them have been here by here already, yes. Um, and goes into like the back room. It's actually like the meeting room that like the first council meeting was actually held. So complete with little like breakfast trolleys and
So the reason I came near today is during our little trip, we've learned a few things, and Gav would like to know about the daughters of Sophia and your connection to the woman in green.
she says it's a fair question.
And why you did not tell us of this when it happened.
She says the daughters. The Daughters are an organization that has been dedicated to freeing women from Vadachi who are at the hands of abusive men. I'm sure Rosa can testify to how such abuse is institutionalized within Vadachi like no other place.
See, it's not like Eisengaff. My inability to read was because I am Vadachi.
Then who is she?
She is the one who brought me into the daughters. She says the daughters are a network that moves those women from Vadachi to other places that are safer. She says for a time, I helped run women to various safe houses. I helped Rosa find her way to a safe place. She says, and the lady in green was the woman who set me on the path, the woman who recommended to the daughters that I be put in charge of Eisen as a whole. She says every woman brought through Eisen to a safe place I know of.
He killed innocent people, Frau Probst.
She says, I don't have an explanation for that.
Is she still in Freiburg? Is she even still in Eisen?
She does not answer to me. She says, and I have sent messages and left messages in drop points that I know that you would have checked. She says, part of our communication networks, and I have not received a response as yet.
Is there a chance that the person you knew and the person we saw were not the same?
She says, you're the one who's described to me that people have been taken over, that someone tried to take over me. Says if they were targeting the members of the Daughters of Sophia, then it would stand to reason they would go after my superior as well. She says, I say superior, she says, but the system is not one of rank. She says, it is one of roles. She says, I am a coordinator and an administrator. Others are runners. Others tend safe houses and help women who have been abused assimilate into a world in which that is not the case. Says there are certainly some roles that are perceived as more important, but it is not the structure of a gang or of a military.
Then I apologize for my intentions. This was not the answers I was expecting.
She says, I share your concerns about her. She says, I wanted to get answers from her myself, but she has not been answering me in some time. And I have been sitting on the decision as to whether to bring to the attention her deeds to other coordinators in other nations. And it is perhaps past time that I do that, but your concern.
It is not the first time she has impersonated someone. Before the bombing, she had taken the place of someone within the Velasquier. So I believe that this concern is past due.
I think you're right. She says, and I think it is. I think it is my own attachment which has clouded my judgment at this point.
Then I suppose we should also talk about the other business with Charlotte and last name escapes
Size
Jeff.
to size.
Size to size.
Well, it's actually Kirsch to size because Kirsch is from
yeah.
the
Whichever. And what we are going to do with her, because if she is involved in slavery, she concerns the daughters. Da?
She concerns me as just a member of Freiburg. The one thing that is prohibited is slavery.
Can we count on the Daughters of Sophia for assistance?
She
Or
says
is
you
that
can count
something
on me,
beyond?
and I can ask any of the runners of the members of the safe house, but they're not exactly equipped for it. Most of them are just very good at not being noticed.
Gav has some experience with this.
Um, she says their expertise is in getting people quietly from one place to another. So this is and helping them heal. If that is useful somehow in pursuing her, I would be happy to see if they would be willing to assist. But as I said, it's not a rank structure. I could request their assistance.
Gav's like full on thinking mode. We may have to go to the Crescent Lands. In fact, it is almost certain.
I'm going to do a quick interject here and have both of you making a wits roll with hmm, trying to figure out what is probably the most relevant skill for Wilma. Um,
Do I get any of this woman raised
I'm
me?
gonna give you a I'm gonna give you 2 free raises just for your familiarity.
Okay.
Um, however, okay, so she has a 5 in criminal, merchant, commoner, and noble. So I will accept any of those as things to sort of suss out her mindset.
I will take the criminal.
Yep. Criminal.
Okay.
26.
Okay. Is that with your raises? Your free raises?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
32.
Wait. Okay. All right. And Wilma's wits is a 5, so that's a target number of 35. She'd be very good at like not showing what she's thinking, even to those who are familiar with her. It's probably one of the more maddening things for Rosa growing up with her, you know. Um, and
Both just short.
Mhm. Gav was much closer though.
I think Gav came into it more suspicious than Rosa did. Does that make sense?
Rose, yeah, Rose is very trusting of her. And her loyalty is absolutely blinding her in this moment.
I'm gonna give you a drama die for that, just in that moment, for that loyalty. Uh, and there's a moment where Wilma like looks at Rosa and she kind of sees the faith that Rosa has in her. And she looks downwards and she says, there's something else, something that there have been a lot of questions that I have asked along the way with the daughters of elements of its organization, elements of its secrecy that I have never had satisfactory answers to. Says there is a culture in which one does not ask questions because then answers could be taken from you. She says, and I have found it easy to not ask questions because I thought the work that I was doing very important. She says, I have been very loyal for a long time. And I fear that I have at times been blind in my loyalty. Because I have seen girls like Rosa brought to places of safety and given a chance to flourish. And I thought that worth whatever cost came with it. She reaches out and she touches Rose's shoulder. Um, she says, but perhaps more questions need to be asked.
Rosa doesn't know how to react. Oh my god. Sorry, what is Gav?
No, Gav's just he's on the wrong footing right now. He came in with a specific like train of thought and it's been upset and now he's kind of caught.
It's been disarmed.
Yeah. Made me Henri's like, why am I not there? Because Gav thought this was going to be a little bit more of an interrogation than an honest conversation. That's why.
Wilma squeezes Rose's shoulder and she says, you know where to find me if you think of any other questions.
See, of course.
I shall not keep you from your duties any longer, Frau Probst.
She nods. She says, I'm excited for some updates on the orphanage. And she leans and she wraps her arms around Gav's neck and gives him an embrace while he's still sitting, since it's a little more equivalent. But she steps out after that. Chad, Corey, you thought you were going to interrogate Wilma?
Gav's a simple man.
Gav's like, I think I just got Wilma judoed.
Yeah. Yeah, Gav gets kind of sort of like glances over to Roses like, that did not go how Gav expected.
What did you expect? If you don't mind me asking.
Secrets, lies. Gav expected. Gav does not know what he expected.
Wilma's never been like that, at least that's how I have known her to be.
Gav's just, he's like, I know this, but there are so many secret societies in the city, it seems, and as much as, and excuse yourself, Gav has a wits of 3. Sorry.
Honoring's trash talking in the chat.
Yeah.
I didn't read it. That's what.
Yeah, he's like, so many different things have been changing. I mean, we have, what lies under the city, the mess with Runa we just had, and it is a lot for Gav. And Gav was hoping he would find answers instead of more questions. Seems familiar. Sorry.
I mean, that seems to be Freeburg.
The city was so much simpler 6 months ago.
See, it really was.
It was like one of those long pregnant pauses. Have you made a decision yet?
I have. I'm going to be bringing. I know it just pops up. I'm going to be bringing it to the attention of the entire council later.
He reaches out with his hand. I hope you have made the right decision, but I will support you no matter what.
I think with everything I know and the knowledge of what the Srega are doing to the only thing protecting us, I think I know what I have to do.
I look forward to hearing of your decision, friend Rosa.
Grazie.
We're just getting like sassed over here.
Yes. Sassed by someone who's not even there.
Somebody who's got their like mute on, which is all the more impressive.
No, it's hilarious.
My ears are burning.
This is what Sarah has to deal with when she runs Thursdays. This is me the whole time on Thursdays.
And I can hear her, by the way. She's not being quiet about it. Mute her now.
See, that was the thing I was curious about, is whether she was like just sort of pantomiming or if she was actually like yelling at her computer.
Words were said.
All right. With that, I'm going to cut to Len, who is a very, very sneaky cat with a very, it's not like a large shoe nail, it's a perfectly ordinary sized shoe nail inside of the house of Charlotte Kirsch du Seiss. It is early in the morning, and it is a time that most nobles would be deep asleep still. You know what I'm saying? Like really like being seen before 10 o'clock is sort of gauche. Does that make sense for at least like the Montaigne kind of nobles that like it varies with other like nations, but there is a certain like expectation within Montaigne of like beauty sleep and like giving the servants time to have everything prepared by the time you get out of bed so that you don't have to like castigate them for laziness or something like that. And if you get up at 6 in the morning, they got to get up at like 2 in the morning. And it just doesn't work out for anybody. And so the problem is Lenny's found dozens of pairs of shoes and boots, and none of them look like something that she would wear into anything remotely like danger. And despite whatever relationship she has with the people in Crescent Lands, she has to understand that like she's probably dressed pragmatically while doing it. And she's also probably dressed in such a way as to not like get noticed while traveling through Finehearth on her way to like move a bunch of slaves, right? And so it's a certainty from his time as like a spy and as a criminal and all kinds of stuff. Like, these are not the shoes she's wearing to do this. They're embroidered with silk roses. These are not the shoes she's wearing to do this. But what is a surprise is as he's sneaking around, and like there's a couple servants moving, and they don't really like pay much attention to a cat. You know, some of them sort of like toss a bit of egg his way. Just sort of assume that he comes at the house. But then like it's a surprise to see Charlotte up and around this early. She kind of comes out of her room in a robe and immediately like disappears into her office. You're muted.
Meow. Meow, 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 meow. Len is going to hover around the office, try and listen in. He's not going to, really expose himself by jumping up and grabbing the handle and kicking the door open. Oh, look at this silly kitty. That doesn't feel like it would go over very well here. So
there are like a number of it's not uncommon for houses of the extremely rich to have deliberately built secret tunnels, and those secret tunnels are so that servants can be moving around without being seen. They oftentimes like listen in on stuff, but the point is that they can like show up with food or listen if like the master's like, oh, some tea would be lovely, like all that kind of stuff. And so it's no surprise that Redmond's building has the same stuff. And as a cat, he can just easily kind of like fit into some of them, and like he
Okay,
basically
yeah.
just has to like squirm and push his way through what's actually like a rat entrance. But it's an entrance that leads into the secret tunnels and kind of gives him at least the vantage that he can spy on her while she's at work.
Okay, then
Um,
he'll do that.
and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have a stealth roll called for just to see if you can get just kind of like a basic level of information. I'm gonna get you just period, but like if you can get higher, I'm gonna give more.
Okay. So what would that be? Criminal plus finesse, cat plus finesse? What am I?
You get a bonus for being cat, right? Which I think is a kept roll and stealth dice.
Climb, falling, finesse +1, keen hearing, night vision, silence.
Okay, so I think the silence, how I'm going to do it is I'll give you the bonus finesse to your finesse as you're rolling your stealth, and the silence is going to give you I don't remember what it says it gives. Uh, I'm going to work it as in this case just a free raise.
Okay. So I'm just rolling finesse.
Finesse plus your criminal for sneaking around.
Criminal. Okay. Oh, I don't have criminal. I have naturalist, urban, and hunter.
Naturalist
And
is fine.
enforcer. Okay.
Yeah, that'll work.
Okay, so 38.
All right. So he realizes like at one point that he's close enough to like listen, but for a while all he hears is like the scratching of a pen on paper. And he realizes like, okay, that's not really going to do much for me. So he decides to take the risk to like climb up to a higher vantage point where there are like little vents for distributing heat and stuff like that. It's not like a modern air conditioning system, but they did that kind of thing with like fireplaces and whatnot to like set heat throughout a house from a single stove. Um, and so he has to get into an area that's actually probably in cat form. He's just like, oh, this is nice. I
Very
could-
snug. I can stretch out.
and it smells like bread.
Bread.
But he can see down through the vent into where she's working, and he sees that he's like she's working on the ledger, like all of that business stuff she's doing, and she has the acumen to like balance books. She's kind of going through, like she murmurs to herself occasionally about like the price of clay and like whatever else she is, she seems to be a pretty acute businesswoman. Um, and then she kind of pauses and she sits straight upright. And Len, like, there's a moment of like, did she hear me? And she goes and she crosses the office. It was the office that Hans and Honorin were both in. And she twists a candlestick and part of the wall opens to like a closeted area. And within it is like a full adventuring looking getup. There's boots, there's like a coat, there's gloves, there's kind of like hat and everything she'd wear if she was trying to pass as like a swordswoman. Does that make sense? And the outfit is spot on for that. Um, and she like opens up the coat and she pulls something out. She closes it, she recloses the candelabra, or the candlestick, and then goes back over it and she's comparing notes that were written on the handwritten sheet of paper with what's in the ledger and kind of like crossing a few things out real quickly. Before she gets up. Like she's a woman on the move. She's up and it's early and she's grinding and she doesn't care about the convention of society for a woman of her means and status.
Okay. Well, if she leaves the office, then Len's gonna sneak down towards the office.
Yeah, he's able to get back in, but there is going to be there's no way the cat is going to be able to turn that candlestick.
No, no. So Len is going to listen very carefully, wait for his moment, and uncatenate.
All right. Um,
Whoop, 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 whoop.
and there is one thing that I want to have is a wits check with keen senses. You can keen hearing and keen night vision won't actually affect it because it's about like the recognition or something.
Okay. Well, that's fine. That's still gonna be 28.
Okay. The sword and mangosh that are tucked into the outfit.
Mhm.
There's two things that he notes about them. One is that the the pin of Valro, like the sign of like I use this style, which is normally used by swordsmen to like identify themselves,
Mhm.
is worked into the hilt of the blade itself. And with the marks that connotate a master of Valro.
All right. What word are you saying? Because I'm hearing.
Valro,
Valro.
Valroux. Valro is a school of swordsmanship that's native to Montaigne. Um, and it's kind of it's certainly considered the most popular school of Montaigne swordsmanship. Others are more niche or specialized. Valro is uh, Honoring's actually nailed it. It's very swishy, very fancy. The entire thing about it is actually like acquiring an insane number of dromedais and then using them all at once to kill your opponent in one quick move.
Well, all right then.
Um, the other thing about it, though, is that these are not ordinary blades. He doesn't know what about them, but he knows that they are there's a mark on them that marks them as by a master blacksmith. But it is that same master marksman's mark is also the heraldry of like a Montaigne noble house. Len doesn't know exactly what all of that signifies, but Honorine will.
Okay, so he'll identify or like try and memorize what the crest is. And we'll talk about that later. And then he's going to try and quickly slam this nail into a boot.
I just want a quick stealth roll to like quietly put a nail into a boot in a closed office where nobody's supposed to be at. It's only going to be target number 25. I just want to see if you badly.
Okay, so that was drama die.
You can spend a drama die, or you can just like it's going to make enough noise that somebody will come investigate, but he can be gone by then, and the thing closed.
Oh well, that's fine then. If it seems like he's got it, he can just put the nail little the boot, just whomp.
Okay, so
Creak.
here's all I
Yeah.
want instead is I want a quick athlete roll using his finesse in cat form
Okay.
to just be gone before anybody notices that he was there.
And what's my athlete roll? Okay, so
Okay. Uh, as he, he hears somebody like they were closer than he expected. Like they were standing outside the door. And so like the moment he slams the thing down and is reaching for the candlestick, he hears the door start to open. So he has to like transform into cat and then bolt for the vent. And like it's a jump up onto the desk, up to the vent where he can like squirm away. And during the jump, he hits an inkwell and knocks it over the ledger that she was just working on.
whoops.
So he's getting away just fine, but she's gonna know somebody was in here.
That's fine. She probably won't assume that somebody was putting a magical fucking nail in her boot.
That is probably not gonna be your first assumption, no. But
So
yeah, Gav is right. There is a bonus objective of piss off Charlotte that,
all that work that she just did.
um and as he's leaving, he hears her storming out, like, "Was someone in here?" to the servants, and like, "No, no, miss, no, madame." Um, and as he's getting out of the house, you can hear that there's like a search happening. And all right, so after which, is he heading for the Usurns, or is he heading straight for Montague after that?
Honestly, he kind of wants to talk to the Surins, but he really feels like Montague needs to know what's happening right now.
Okay.
So,
What he can do as a quick conversation is there is a member of the Wakund who is Usuran, who can just be made to notify, like, "Hey, we've got a bunch of people coming in from Usura. Can you go talk to him?"
okay, then yeah, he'll just leave a note or stop by and talk to him that person real
Yeah.
quick, and then
It's the huge beefcake of a guy who's like eager to wrestle Gav.
oh yes, yes. If he dies, he dies.
Yeah, but he's like, "Yes, I will go give them warm hug of welcome."
Yes. Yes. Make sure there is, and he'll give them some money too. He's like, make sure we have the best location secured for them as possible. We want to get them food. We want to keep them warm. I know our people are no stranger to a much harsher winter, but that doesn't mean they, need to deal with this one.
We still need to be warm to live, and we still need to eat to live.
Exactly.
Um,
And then he's going to, go around a handy corner, and a moment later,
Once again, I'm an owl flying through the sunshine in the day.
yeah, this is
I hate this so
messing with
much.
my circadian rhythm so bad.
A
The
very
only owl
confused
with
eagle, like
bloodshot eyes.
it's just a very confused eagle, like, the fuck? What do you do?
Mind your business.
um and he comes down in the camp where it looks as though like the Usurans that have been arriving in Freeburg have not only been arriving there, some of them have actually like arrived and are staying with Montague. Because their camp is swelling, which also means that like they're a little bit less ready to move quickly if they need to.
Yeah. Oh, this is going to be a whole thing. So he's going to land outside the camp, shift, and walk up and make sure they can identify him, because he knows what happened to some other Pyrium users last time he left the camp, and he's not about to get bagged.
Yeah. Yeah, there's the kind of it's actually Carl the Eisen with the pale hair and the missing finger, the sniper who
Yeah.
took a chunk out of his bare ear, who recognizes him straight off, and it's kind of like, no, he is with us. And they're kind of, there's like a lot of new arrivals. All of the Usurans are being treated with a certain amount of suspicion, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Given
Everything, but like not as much as one might think.
Well, that Glen's definitely going to be listening to any Asuran talk while he's wandering through the camp, just to hear if anybody's, just whatever scuttlebutt might be to be had.
It's less scuttlebutt and more, by Usuran standards, depressing.
Mm.
Oh
dear.
The Gaius is like, in general, the feeling seems to be that the new Gaius is insane. Just insane from like a violent standpoint, insane in his search for Catherinia, insane with any hint of what's the word I'm looking for?
Disloyalty?
Disloyalty, betrayal. So
I think, and Gabs is thinking to himself, I think this is part of Wolf's plan, possibly Colchay's too, to weaken Mother and strike at her. I don't like this.
Yeah, there's not a lot of people that right before winter are ready to, curse Matushka. Like that's just a deep, deep belief amongst the Usurans of like, when there's snow on the ground, you don't say a bad word about grandmother.
No.
Um,
No, you do not. All right, so then
um, but as Len comes in, he sees that Katharina is there, looking like she's been doing enough scouting in animal form and whatnot that she's looking pretty like worse for wear for it. But she rises immediately and hugs Len, happy to see him again. She says, "Have you heard any word from Fischlerlands?"
I have not. I bring different word, and part of that word is take a break.
She kind of
Constantly being in animal form is draining in ways that you can't just build up, build up a muscle for.
meow. Oh, I'm doing it again.
There's that too.
uh, there's kind of like a cough from like the corner of the room. Montague's there, and when Len looks over, there's a Montaigne nobleman that's there who looks a little like, oh, I'm awkwardly in the middle of, and Montague kind of Len, this is Monsieur uh, Herbert Dugoyer. And the man rises. He says something of a forced Montaigne expatriate. He says, offering what news I can to Montague of what's been happening in
Well,
Montaigne.
how up to date is your information, sir?
He says, I left Montaigne yesterday.
So you know about the bleeding in the palace.
I was there for some of it, yes, he says, or rather I was recalled to it. Uh, the um this is probably a little bit of like a startle for Len because the man like he adjusts part of his sleeve and Len sees that there's a tattoo on the inside of his wrist of the Relaskier. This is a Montaigne nobleman.
Uh, there's always going to be one or two noblemen involved in any movement, even the movement against noblemen, for various reasons. So Len just kind of quirks an eyebrow at that and files it away for future.
He says, um, he says a friend of mine had a Porte object that was near here. He says, and I traveled to give General what information I can. And Montague says he has been providing me some information about goings on in Montaigne since I left, what he could.
Well, that's one of the things that I was coming to tell you about because we heard it from people who had escaped to Eisen as soon as things went south.
He says he's Freeburg safe for Montaigne at the moment. If I were
As
to make
long
my
as they
way
behave
there after this,
themselves, yes. If you behave yourself, we have no problems. If you try and bring whatever's going on there into our city, we have trebuchets and they do fit people.
he says I'm an artist. He says a noble by birth. He says, but my sympathies have not been with them for some time.
Hmm. Well, you can be as noble or not noble as you want. I did see the mark there on your wrist, but
And he
like I
kind
said,
of he
just
raises an eyebrow at like the recognition of it.
the council is aware of a lot of the goings on in the city. We have to be.
He says in truth, we have largely limited ourselves to publishing antagonistic pamphlets.
Yeah, in Eisen, they limited it to trying to blow up a bunch of Iron Princes.
So I have heard.
So that's why I'm saying, you know, and not over last year apparently, but if you decide to change that at all, uh, be prepared for as much pushback as an angry, unaffiliated city can muster.
He says, I understand that there are some members of my organization in the city that are in some trouble. He says, I am a man of education, he says, and ability. He says, and I would be delighted to be offered the chance to defend them in a court, if such were possible.
That's still up for debate, but we will keep that in mind. Do you have a card, or do you some way to? reach you in Eisen when you're there?
He says, I understand that in Freiburg there is a city
Or
hall in
Freeburg?
which members of nobility can seek temporary quarter until they find a more permanent residence. He says, where is the best place to reach you so that I can contact you after I've arrived?
Depending on what's going on, any number of places. You're better off just letting them know that you would like to speak to Len Costin of the council once you have settled in, and they'll get you in touch with me.
Says, appreciated.
So, let's see. To keep you, bring you up to abreast of things that are not necessarily Montaigne oriented. Well, first off, how much do you trust? And he's gonna.
Montague looks to Hubert. He says, in matters of Montaigne, I think he is as trustworthy as can had.
Well, all right. Well, first off, you should know then that Seeger has split his forces and is moving through towards what looks like at least half his army is headed towards, I think, Fischler lands is what we're suspecting. He pushed through the Black Forest and suffered for it to reclaim his ancestral lands from the Cease to Cease family. And besides that, which means Fischler's possibly going to have problems with support here. The river is lined with Posen's forces, effectively, and we just found out very recently from a purveyor of fine goods and artifacts, and also probably a smuggler, although I've never asked him directly, that Fischler was sold some sort of artifact cannon.
Not Fischler,
Or
Posen.
not Fischler, Posen. Posen was sold some sort of artifact cannon that fires destructive beams of light that can sight through trees and other objects that even a cannon would have problems damaging. They couldn't say for certain that Fischler would be able to reconstruct a cannon, or Posen would be able to reconstruct. I don't know why I keep saying Fischler. A Posen would be able to put it together, but we're fairly certain that she did manage it. She can afford, the best technicians, the best, sorcery-minded, and for a weapon like that, I have no doubt she would spare no expense. And now we have this problem with the false Gaius, apparently having gone so mad with power and probably mad with, well, let's just say there are powers beyond mortal that are at play here at this point. But what other case, he's so mad that he's driving my people out of Asura with winter coming on. This is not the time to try to escape Asura. And yet here they are.
From what I understand, their entire villages have been sacked of food, and that their survival is, or their demise is assured if they stay. That's the only reason they would be compelled to move right now. It says I've opened my camp to as many as we can take. Probably more than that, actually.
And I know that complicates your ability to move quickly.
He says, and this weapon, if it is in operation, complicates our ability to escape across the river.
It does.
He says we would be sitting ducks. He says, which means it sounds more and more like we will be forced into an open confrontation with her on her terms in the defenses that she has laid.
Yes, because I don't know, with everything that's happening now, I don't know that we have a way to distract Posen sufficiently to make a break even somewhat feasible. I don't know what you're saying, Glory. I love you and I can see you, but Oh, yeah, we do. Well, okay, well, there might be one. Runa do the exploding. Yes. We do know a friendly Scaregin who can summon up one hell of a terrible storm.
which might pin them in place.
Yeah, unfortunately, we can't say target their munition dumps with lightning. That would just be a serendipitous experience. So we have some options, but the situation has gotten more complicated. If there is a push into Fischler lands, um, that's going to make even trying to travel the river dangerous in another way. Because it means Fischler's definitely going to have to focus on repelling an invader. I wish I came here with answers. I just have news.
Says snow, storms, says, and an unexpected offensive after weeks of being on the run, says might be our best bet. Posen is, from what I have studied, nigh unstoppable when she is on the offense.
Mm-hmm.
Says, perhaps our best bet is to fight her when she's not.
That's fair. That's
He
fair.
says, what I could use is a disruption in her chain of command, a disruption in her ability to use her artillery pieces. Any of those things coordinated, says, an attack from another direction, even if it's a small force that's capable of getting to her ammo dumps and her black powder, it would be an enormous aid. Says, can your forces accomplish that? Says, if they can, I'm willing to throw every Montaigne soldier I have towards her directly.
I think so. That might just end up being me, but I'll go back to the city and see what we have available.
Hubert says, the situation at Montaigne, the Emperor has fled Charus. He is in pay, says, ruling from a distance.
So
Says
he's
the city is at present held by peasants.
So have we thought about possibly sending a message about that to Fauner Posen, saying, you don't get the money if I die now, can you please go away?
Um, I can try sending a message.
I honestly would say it wouldn't hurt if she's only here because you're supposed to be worth so much to the Emperor, and the Emperor cannot pay anything right now because he got kicked out of his house. She may just say, you know what, yeah, this isn't worth tying up all my men and spending all this money and everything to siege you. Special weapon or no. So
And Hubert he looks to between, he says, will the storm in the midst of this, won't your troops be as affected as Posen's? Um, and Montague kind of gives a grim laugh and he says, we've been fighting in snowstorms for the past year.
yeah, they're definitely used to it. Even a thunderstorm would be
He
easier.
says it would allow us to move in small units. He says if it was thick enough, they would be able to fight as we've been fighting. He says small units, trusting my sergeants, he says, to take command, he says, and not offering a high level strategic viewpoint.
Yep. Guerrilla strikes, lightning attacks, and withdrawals. combined with a storm and the prospect of not getting money after everything, might be just enough to break it, to break the lines and give you a chance to leave. And I think we all want you to get the chance to reach the capital and possibly secure things before they get worse.
He gives a nod and he says, and he moves over to like the table that he has and he starts to draw it. He says, I need you to remember this, he says, and recreate it for the commander of your forces.
Okay.
And he begins to like draw out his strategy in advance. Does that make sense? There's an understanding of, for most veteran soldiers, that no plan survives first contact with the enemy.
Mhm.
But so basically the order of operations that he's planning is he's planning to send a letter, giving Posen a time and a place that they can negotiate a ceasefire and a possible surrender, with the expectation that Posen will send forces to try to capture him and will not respect the flag of like
Yeah.
parley. And he's going to be expecting her to do that and moving his own forces into play. There's a specific time that he will set up so that he can count on a storm happening at that point, and basically giving your side's commander, with his own knowledge of his own troops and their ability to act and stuff like that, an idea of like the best place that they can strike. Also sketched into it are his most current intelligences as to where their sort of important sites are, as
Okay.
far as like artillery pieces, ammo dumps, food stores, that kind of thing.
Okay. And he'll take that down, lock it away, and be like, point at Katrini again. Rest. Seriously.
She nods. Hubert says, I will see you in the cities soon enough.
You will. You will.
And Montague is kind of a last action. You see him, he takes an hourglass that's like designed for like an exact count for days, and he flips it, starting to count. Like he's going to be there at that fight at that time, whether he has backup or not. He can't presume that he has to assume that it'll be there, and he's placing the trust in you that it will.
Okay. Yeah. I'll note down how many days we have, and
6.
6 days. All right.
And honestly, traveling into Posen Lands is probably going to take at least 3 of it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay.
Well, I'm gonna have a lot of things to relay when you get back.
So I want to cut now to, I think, so Honorine is going to be meeting with Jemay. And then the last scene is going to be Rosa kind of talking to everybody about what she has planned.
Do you want me to roll for the play too?
Yeah, we can do that now. So why don't you do a quick description of what the play is about, and if anybody thinks that they have something suitable to help, they can nominate it, because this has been something that probably has been happening over the course of a few days.
I have set.
So what?
I've set.
Yeah, you got set. So I think she's probably been working on like, originally I think she was working on like a sort of heroes epic or whatever. It was a satire, then it became an epic, and now it's going to be like kind of an ode or whatever, or has been kind of an ode for Kelby Loring since he's dead. It's really poor taste to satire him this soon after he dies.
Well, I think the satire was originally intended for somebody else too, like not Kelby Loring.
Well, it was originally intended for who they thought Kelby Loring was.
Oh yeah, that's right, because
they thought that he was like an asshole who was, there was a whole thing.
Yeah, he was in league with Redmond, and
yeah, I mean, they thought he was a scumbag, because he was in league with scumbags and lie down with dogs and all that stuff. So, Backile is clearly just not interested. So it's gonna be like like an epic poem, but like in play form. I don't know how to say that. An adventure, like a swashbuckly, like, aha, the life of Kelby Loring, the life and adventures of the daring Kelby Lauren, or and starring Len as the bear in the first act that he fights. Or whatever. Okay, so that's the gist of it. So she's writing a play for the Bear House because that's what she does now.
Okay. So there are contributions that can be made in like the way of like I think Gav has like the sort of real sense of Kelby Loring's reputation prior to everything. As he was like the longest lived resident here. Hans probably has some personal insight into him, which I will let be a contribution of like his commander skill. For Gav, it can be. Does Gav have both commoner and criminal, or just criminal?
Criminal's higher, but he has 2 dots in commoner.
I think I'd prefer it as like the 2 dots of commoner in this case because
And what stat?
it's no, you're just contributing like bonus unkept dice
Oh,
for
okay,
honor
yeah.
range to roll. So you have 2 dice. Hans, what's your commander 3 currently?
I think it is. Yeah, it's 3.
Okay, so that's going to be another 3 dice. Runa, go ahead and can add your craftsman dice because you're the one building the stage and doing all that.
What do I roll with?
You're not rolling it. You're letting
Oh.
Honorary know how many craftsman dice you have.
Okay, I have 3, but I also have expertise in carpentry.
Okay, so that'll be a +5 to the final roll.
Okay, so you get 3 dice plus 5.
And
So is that 8 dice or 3 dice?
3 dice plus 5 to the final roll.
To the number.
a,
Yeah.
Oh.
a final +5. So
Yeah.
so it's 3, 2, and 3. So 8. Yeah. Is there anything Len is contributing as far as, or is he kind of sticking this one out?
Let me look at my skills here again. We've got he has 2 dots of performer.
I'll let that sink in. He's a good line reader.
Yeah.
So
is that
2
just
dice
2 more
from-
dice?
Rosa has 3 in performer.
Okay. Yeah, so you
Singer.
have the 2 of them doing a lot of like the line reading and making sure,
helping
you know,
workers, maybe.
yeah.
Rosa, do you have expertise? Because that would be an additional +5.
That's where she's headed is singer.
Because you
If
have
you-
3,
if
you
you're-
can take the expertise.
Yeah,
Oh, I
once you have
can?
3, you get one for free.
Oh,
So
okay.
if you want it to be singer, then you can just give a +5 because she's actually like getting to do some of the opera
Yeah.
parts. And
So
Do
at the
I
end,
also-
it'll be a final +10.
Oh wait, so a +10 from Runa and Rosa, right?
Yes.
Okay, what
Mhm.
about Hans? Hans has 3 as well.
Yeah,
Did I
because I've
get
got
another.
my expertise is commander. Does that apply?
well,
Or is it
what
just
is your
more-
expertise within commander?
No, the
Isn't
skill
command-
is the skill is strategist. The expertise is like commander expertise under the strategist skill.
Okay. Oh yeah. So no, because that specifically is a bonus when he's rolling the tactics check,
Yeah,
which isn't really applicable in this case.
that's less related.
All right, so that's 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 altogether.
On top of your natural wits plus
Wits
artist.
plus artist. Do I?
Or sorry, panache plus artist. You can do your choice of panache or wits.
I, for story reasons, want to go with panache, but wits is higher, so I kind of want to go with wits. No, I'm gonna go with panache.
Okay.
It's a lower dot, but it's it just feels.
You like the mental.
It feels more right.
Okay.
Okay, so panache. Panache 4. And then artist 3.
So it's 7 keep 4 plus 13 extra dice, right?
All right.
So that would be 20 keep 4, which becomes 10 keep 14, which becomes 10 keep 10
Is it plus
plus
20?
well, it's plus 10 for each extra die that would go over 10.
Oh,
So
God.
it's plus 40
Plus
plus
40.
the 2 expertises, so
Yes.
plus 50.
Oh my
So
God.
10 keep 10 plus 50.
Okay.
Holy shit.
I love these massive
And
rules.
is that including
That's everything, yeah.
the final plus 10?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
59.99.
99?
Apparently. 59 was my roll and it was plus 40, right?
Plus 50.
Plus 50.
Oh, so
109.
109.
Awesome.
I no longer have 99 problems. I have 109 of them.
Okay. So, Kelby Loring's posthumous reputation is going up by 11 full points.
Wow.
And I think sort of like broadly the story, I don't know, you can describe to me how much of this honoring intense and how much of it just sort of comes through, which is a story about somebody that had like his reputation been trashed, he'd been thought of as a villain, and sort of like a redemptive story. And a lot of it is sort of like done against the backdrop of like the war, and the costs of it, and how they can make somebody go from like nobody to hero to villain to, to like kind of finding himself again at the end before the end. And like his last act being about freeing a bunch of people. And
That sounds cool. I don't know how socially acceptable it would be. Well, no, never mind, actually. I don't think that would be appropriate. So yeah, I think probably that wasn't incredibly intentional. Like, I think that it sort of came out that way because like there were parts that she had originally written as satire and then she's like, I really like the scene, I want to keep it, but I'm going to rework it. And just some of the stuff maybe came out a little snide at first. And I was literally going to mention, like, is there some sort of, like, might there be some sort of subplot between Kelby and a handsome, mysterious general? But, like, that doesn't feel... I don't think
So-
Honorine knew about that. And also, I think that that was a little... that it wouldn't... I don't think the city would go for it.
I thought she did have enough connection with Hans that she kind of knew there was something going on. I thought they had a conversation about that at one point.
Hans, what do you think?
I'm trying to remember.
Well, is it something... I mean, they can have had a conversation with it about it at some point, if that's a theme that you think would be cool to include. They don't have to have had it off on screen.
So
I think it would be neat for the story. At the
So-
very least, like a mention of the two of them, like spending a lot of time together and like training and sharing stories of the war.
undertones.
So there's two layers to this that are interesting. One, all of the actors are going to be actresses playing these roles, right? So, but there's, so I think what happens is it gets reframed as like it's going to be something where everybody who knows the littlest things about Kelby Loring is going to know this is about Kelby Loring. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But is framed as being a story from Numa, of like a Newman general and going through the same kind of experiences and stuff like that, because there was a sort of cultural understanding of that, like soldiers could be in love and that was acceptable in a way that's like not in Isaac. Does that make sense? And so like so she can frame it so that it's like included, and it is gonna be like a big deal that it's included as a storyline. Does that make sense? But it's also not gonna out Hans at the same time.
There's that possibility, and there's also the possibility that if she can manage it with her role, there's the possibility that it's left to interpretation, because she kind of wouldn't mind having people kind of talking about like they were totally the best of friends, they were obviously like brothers, they were obviously, that was clearly a mentor-pupil relationship. Like they like to have people talking about what kind of relationship it may have been is not going to hurt Honorine's feelings.
Free publicity too.
Yeah. So like
Yeah, you can make everyone gets people to come back and watch it for a second or third time.
second or third time, like, okay, hang on, I need to watch
hyperanalyze it.
they get a bit closer to kissing every run of the show. So people
Veronica is like so excited. Like, do I get to make out with her on stage? The actress is like, are we making out on stage?
Yeah, the other actress is like, hey, wait, hang on. I already have my shirt off.
Yeah, she's already like, we're already like topless and pressed together. Like, isn't that enough? And, she's
And
like,
people are
"No, we
talking
can
about
be
the making out
on stage.
I have boobies and they're talking about the making out. I don't understand.
She's very excited. Um,
I think Honorine wouldn't actually be sad about having two women kiss on stage either.
Andre, like, do you need some practice with the blocking on this? And like, so I assume that she's gonna like show it to Hans at some point before kind of. And what does like Hans think about it, since he's probably one of the people who's closer to him.
Upon analyzing it, I think I think. Wait, hang on. If you wanted to like start it as like a character conversation, you can too.
Well, sort of. I think that she's going to kind of have the draft script and go to him and be like, I know you don't have a lot of time, and I don't want to impose on the little time that you have. But
Kelvin's chiming in with the opera.
close the
Background.
The background
the song
singer.
of his people.
I don't want to impose on what little time you have, but I think since he was so important to you, and I think we've all, you've contributed, we've all worked very hard. If you would just glance over the script and make sure there's nothing that you would consider disrespectful in there, I would really appreciate it. Kelvin was meant for the stage.
Yeah, give it a read through, and then yeah, I think he'd approve of it all. It's Eisens love a good military story, and if it's a bit less traditional, then you'll get people talking about it.
And I think Hans also recognizes that amongst the great pieces of Eisen literature, tragedy and character flaws are like more important than like perfect heroism. Like they don't find a perfectly heroic story to be believable, but somebody who like manages against all odds and like drives a killing blow while bleeding to death themselves, they're like, oh yeah, that's how stuff happens.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Okay. So the life and times of the great Lubby Coring will be debuting soon. Now
Yeah.
has debuted. I don't know, whatever.
Veronica very excited running off across stage. Like she's not just topless, she's like fully naked except for like a centurion helmet. And she's like, get over this. Hi, Rosa.
I love her so much. Must protect.
Totally shimmies in a circle. She's like, when are you joining us on stage?
Runa's excitedly like setting up the stage, bringing on the pieces that she's been like building.
Veronica, there's a loincloth that goes with that.
Jamay's like, she does not need it. Yeah, and Jemay like, do you know what she does need? Epaulets. And Veronica, and she just starts costuming, and Jemay goes after her. And I was kind of having her wave to Rosa as like Rosa's arriving with like the figurine of Mab in her pocket. And whether it's like a decision to make or she wants to have a private conversation, now is the time to do so. I'm also going to say that like Rosa, you do have like the cold open next time as well. So if like some of this carries over, that's going to be fun too.
Yay. Okay. Yeah, so she's gonna ask the council to talk.
So there's a break from, stage building, and I think tired all the flying Len is probably the last to arrive.
Runa's covered in like wood shavings, and paint.
Got some fluff in her hair.
Len
just
tumbles
like-
in through the window.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's go.
Just skids across the stage.
Len like bumps into one of the windows in owl form. You just hear a squawk of like, ah, damn it! And then he flies in.
And Alejandra just sort of like opens the window and scoops him in carefully. Just and like by the time he's changed back, she has like a carnitas for him.
Fortifying Chipotle.
And the council convenes, just the council members, nobody else upstairs around Rosa.
Rosa would know the name of the person. Claire does not.
Which one,
But-
Mob?
No, the creepy one who stole the statue.
Kazi.
Him-
Wasn't
oh,
that Kazi?
No. Kazi wasn't the one who stole it. It was one of the members of the that cruise ritter. I don't recall if I gave him a specific name. I might have and not written it down, which is like my cardinal sin as a GM. So for
Mhm.
now, do we just want to refer to him as the cruise ritter?
The cruiser.
Die cruise ritter. He's
Die
one of.
Cruiser.
Oh wait, no, you guys don't even know that name. Shit, I just spoiled it.
No, we do.
Oh.
We do.
Oh,
He
okay.
told us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. They
Yeah.
told us because we were like, yeah, we'll keep
Okay.
the secret. Don't worry. We won't tell no one about the portal room.
Okay, then Rosa will just call him the creepy person. So she takes it out of her pocket and puts it on the table. This is going to the gentleman we met that stole it from me.
Oh, the thief.
He can
It's-
actually use it.
They did say it saved some lives because of its unique properties. Although one has to question before you hand it over, is that going to carry repercussions with the one you got the statue from? Is it given to you for a very specific purpose, and handing it
True.
off
I
could
Don't know. And honoring, I'm going to need the journal back.
Have you tried asking? Gav's like shrugs. Like, she seemed like a reasonable person when we were there. I would not think she would want Rosa to make decision if she was not informed.
Arthur didn't exactly bring about confidence in working
That
with
is,
me.
in all fairness, Arthur is like that about a lot of things.
Very true.
I agree with Gav.
You do?
I do. I think that if you're going to give away a favor given to you by a queen, you really must ask her about it.
I think she intended you to hold on to it for as long as necessary, so you would always be tempted,
Or always have options.
or always have options. With the Fae, it can be many things.
So I have a question. Where is the figurine at the moment? Like, is Rosa
It's
holding
just
it?
out, like on the table.
They're sitting
And-
around it like a fucking totem.
It's in like a pose.
Jeez.
It's a. By the way, it's like Lego minifig sized. It's tiny. So
Oh!
like, it's not a
It's like-
huge creation.
I
or-
thought
so
you were
like the
talking
fact
like
that
Maltese
like
Falcon
this
style.
I was
size.
thinking
Yeah.
Barbie sized was me.
For some reason,
No,
I was
like-
the only one that picked up the Lego fig size, I guess.
Yes.
I have a little, like, goddess idol necklace that I wear sometimes, and it's about that size. And, like, so that's what I had pictured when it was first given.
Nope. I totally thought like this
I
size.
imagined it was like bobblehead size. So like,
No, like what?
Yeah.
So when the Die Crusader had it, he was literally closing his hand around it, like
Oh.
um. So but yeah, I was just curious if anybody was like actively touching it or if they were just kind of looking at it.
No, it's just out.
Sorry, I didn't mean to disrupt the
No, it's okay.
conversation.
No, I can still hear. I'm just
Oh, wait, actually, a question for GM. What does it look like it's made of? I don't think I have ever actually seen it.
It looks like it's been carved out of a piece of black pearl.
Oh.
I literally have a prop for this.
I hear some vague rummaging in the background.
Well, yeah, in this case I actually agree with Honorine and Gav. I am not an expert on the Fae by any measure, but from what I've gleaned, you do not change the nature of your deal or gift or whatever on your own without opening yourself up to all sorts of okay, there we go.
Oh wow.
Okay.
All sorts of interpretations from the other side, and they've had a lot longer to play this game.
But and someone remind me, because player doesn't remember. Did Rosa tell the group what she saw when they took her over there?
I
Like
think
into
you told
the-
Len.
Into the dark paths?
Yeah.
I
You
don't think.
shared with Len at least.
I don't
I
think
don't-
you told everyone.
Yeah, I don't think you
So
told everyone.
let's assume not, and she
Let's
can
assume
kind
not?
of
Yeah. When I crossed into the dark path, the Stregas were trying, or not Stregas, the Unraveled were trying to destroy the thing that protected us from the Cernith.
Oh, wait, the big like glass like dome
See.
thing in the sky, yeah?
See,
Ooh.
the Unraveled Ostrega that died due to fate lashes.
And that's what you want to go back to? She still has her marks, right? Like she hasn't lost
Yeah, she
them.
hasn't lost them.
So Honor's gonna
She
kind
hasn't
of
done
reach
anything.
and grab her hands and like hold them up. As she says, like, and that's what you want to go back to?
I don't know anyone else who can stand toe to toe to a Strega, let alone an Unraveled, except another Strega.
Well, there are other Strega. Have you asked them? Have you talked to any other Strega? No, because you're the only one. You're always the only one, Rosa. It's always just you. You never, ever think to ask for help before you think to throw yourself on the knife. Ever.
That's why I'm asking.
You're coming and you're saying, I'm the only one and I've made my decision. Tell me I'm mistaken.
How many other Strega do you know in
I'm not
Freeburg?
Vadachi. I'm not from Vadachi.
But you are Vadachi.
No, I'm not.
Record skip.
You were born Vadachi.
I was born there, but I am not Vadachi. You are the expert on it. and we are talking about you.
And I can tell you there's not many left. If there are. I don't even
We
know
could
if they're
ask-
in Fleaburg. Any
we
that would
could
be
ask-
even willing to use their abilities.
We could ask Signor Mondavi.
I am
Just enough.
coming to you all for help now.
It didn't quite sound like you were asking for help.
It really didn't sound like you were asking.
It sounded like you were prepared to give yourself to save everyone else. So, do you want
I'm
to try
asking-
asking us for help again?
With the journal, I don't plan to use it. Not in the way that I was.
Didn't you just sort of end up using it against your will? Isn't that why Honorine had to take the journal away?
Yes. And I'm hoping that if I take it back this time, I have you all.
You do. You absolutely do. But it sounds like there's some other paths that are being offered up by people who care about you that you might want to explore before any final decisions are made. So what if you meet another Strega that's strong in their abilities who can help or can take this whole thing on themselves, and then you can still free yourself from Mima.
I also have a question. With the journal, how are we to help you if Grandma starts taking over?
If I start to turn violent again, if anger is my first flare too, you all know me well enough to know who I am now. At least I would hope so.
Yes, but
I'm asking what we do about it. Because
That-
I think we need to be prepared for that. Just in case.
That part I haven't figured out.
I'm thinking full Nelson. If we control her arms so she can't touch the book, then
Be quite
that-
easy. All I have to do is grab her and stand up.
There, see, there you go.
Can't reach the ground.
All joking
No, if-
aside, that book has done damage by itself. So
Well, and
But being the only one of my family line left,
I'd
That
like
you
to think that
know
would
of.
protect you. That you know of. But we're talking about a woman who, when she was alive and crazy, wiped out an entire island full of people because her creepy bonded husband thing, whatever was going on there, ended up dead.
have we heard all of this? That she
When
wiped
is
out
the
an island?
one who
Uh,
knows?
The Mad Queen Marietta, as she's a piece of
Like a
Adachi fiction. There are
story?
plays about her, there are books about her. There's a big ass black hole in the ocean that is attributed to her that's considered like a lost Vidachi island.
Okay.
Yeah, she's come up before in that regard.
Probably one of those things that people who have not been to the Mirror Sea and seen the giant dragon that ate part of, Veston would consider folklore or mythology, but
We've seen some shit. We
Yeah.
know.
Well, and there's also the fact that this person has not traditionally been the helpful sort. So I'm not sure that. What makes you think that you can convince her to do anything against the Unraveled?
Seeing as she is one of them, da.
See, it. Please correct me, DM, if I'm wrong. It looked like she was leading.
looks like she was compelling the other unraveled, yes.
Yeah. It looked like she had control of the other unraveled.
Then I would not think she would be so
I do not
Willing
expect
to
her
change
to
her
work with
plans.
us or to change.
Then
Then
why
what
do
do
we
you
go
s-
back?
I was gonna say, then why do you want to have the journal again and keep these powers? Do you think you can make her?
Possibly, if I get to be strong enough.
If the fate lashes do not kill you first. And he points again at the marks. Points out the marks.
For all we know, she's just trying to put you and your power in among the people that she's leading. You would make an excellent addition to her arsenal.
See.
Then perhaps
I
we do more
don't-
digging. Duh.
I don't believe working with the Fae or having a second one of us working with the Fae is a smart idea. Especially considering how often Arthur goes off on his own and she kind of just motions to missing.
Gav thinks that is more a mark on Herr Arthur than
That seems like an Arthur thing. Mhm.
duh.
Mhm. Okay.
I don't
And she's
know.
gonna just like look at Gav as she agrees with him again. She's like in her head, she's like, when did he get smart?
Honorene's like reassessing her feelings on certain
Rethinking her life choices.
Is it
On the other
is
side
it,
of the. Go ahead.
Is it the queen you have reservations about, or
the
the Fae as a whole?
uh
If Mob specifically
a bit of
you know,
both.
raises the
I'm-
hair on your arms in a sense.
And she's not meaning. I'm gonna say already apologize. I'm so sorry to what she's about to say about Honorine.
Wait,
I don't mean into Hans. I don't mean to be rude. I've seen what, even for you, Hans, what working that the Fae have done.
No, yeah, there is. I mean, there is nothing in life for free.
Is the Scotland man considered a fae?
He's literally Mob's brother. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what?
Yeah.
Hey,
definitely
don't
is.
feel bad. I lost
And
that
I would
one
like
for
to
a bit
disappear
too.
now. And that's
Yeah.
just sometimes how things go.
No, he's like up there as well.
He has also kind of like become his own entity. So
It's
Yeah.
just
kind
he's
of his
not
own
very
thing.
fae coded.
Yeah, he's not Fae
In my
coded
head.
at the same time.
He's
There
definitely
are
not
certain
Sealy
things,
coded in
but-
my head.
General
He's-
aspect.
Follow his
He's
rules.
an
and get-
Appalachian cryptid. That's the problem.
Yes.
he's an Eisenfey is the problem.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's the main
Yeah.
thing.
he's daddy coded.
That's crazy.
And maybe that's why I didn't think he was a fae.
Yeah.
You know?
Then I was gonna say, and I don't know if this is like some for column A, some for column B here, but didn't she seem absurdly interested in you having a daughter?
See, it's because that is how Strega are created.
Yeah. I have the feeling that she plans to create herself
Ew, what?
instead of that child.
What? And that's in character. Like Honoring's like, excuse me?
I get the
Even
feeling
Rosa's
that
like immediately like, what?
I'm sorry, what?
you didn't get the feeling that she wanted us to have a daughter specifically so she could just take over,
was
possess,
Marietta.
imprint. No,
No, sorry, the above board. I'm pretty sure that was Crazy
That-
Pants because she forced
that's
you guys
Granny.
to have kid.
Yeah, that was
Oh,
She
Gam
took
Gam.
over.
I was talking about Gam Gam.
Oh, we
Okay,
all
that's-
thought you were
Oh,
talking
okay.
about.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So
Oh.
they,
no,
they
yeah.
thought you were
I
talking about
talking
Matt.
about Gam
No,
Gam.
I
and
knew.
Everyone else's confusion.
I got
you
so
me
confused. I was like,
confused.
wait.
No, I knew it was about Gam Gam. I was on board with that. The I'm sorry, what is still applicable.
No, yeah, that's just that's fair.
Yeah, she. If anybody could replace
Oh, wait, she
fate of a
retorted.
child with her own self and fate, it would be Gam Gam. Does he notice the sudden look on Rose's face?
And everybody else's face, I think.
As Rosa is just like,
So is it official, my love?
I don't even know as player.
Why the face?
You're not you're
Well,
not getting that journal back.
Rosa has had 2 weeks to like go to an alchemist and like confirm
Yeah.
or not. It's up to you if she's actually had the nerve to do so.
Oh, she would have
Okay.
at some point.
Yeah. So she's with child.
Yeah, then the face is absolutely there of, oh, fuck.
Runa's just like staring like a huh? She's like,
Gav's eyes are wide. He figured it out. He heard it.
Yeah. Len's grinning. He's like, I am both elated and now extraordinarily terrified for whatever our
Congratulations.
child.
Nice going, Len.
Hey, an impossibly powerful fate witch had at least a slight amount to do with this. But
Are you
Thank
supposed
you.
to be better
I
at
am-
keeping your mouth shut?
no, not with my friends, and you, of course. But
Well, Rosa, and not to say that
there's a lot of hugging.
Tiwasog and Mob, are one and the same in the way that they would make such arrangements. But for all that, all that my state has cost, he told me, even the moment I awoke again, that I am free to leave whenever. There's the thing binding me to this deal is my own commitment to the place that I live, my self. When all of this is done, I can I don't know, do whatever I want. And I mean, again, the system may be different, but I have a strong faith in these people, really, that I mean, at the very least, they're not trying to pull the tower down and kill us all, like your own ancestors, maybe.
He saved my life. I would not have survived my journey from Montaigne to Ison.
so we see a fae that has saved 2 lives. And your grandma, which seems to be draining yours.
I've taken many.
I should just point out for
I just
posterity,
want
the
to-
Scat Man is well known to have taken
Oh, yeah,
many,
no.
many
Yeah,
lives.
Many lives.
Actually,
like
Yeah,
tens
but
of
we're
thousands
saying-
of
We're
people.
talking
It's
about
kind
like,
of his thing.
His ledger's
That's
not
his-
clean.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no.
yeah.
Well,
Oh,
no.
He's certainly
And neither is
not
mine.
like better necessarily.
But he's not trying to end the world.
No, he's better.
But Gam
That's the main
Gam's
thing. He's not
fucking
trying to-
crazy, and the fate lashes are part of that.
He's not trying to end the world.
I absolutely, yeah. I see the point that was being made. I just need to know,
Yeah.
like, the Scat Man is like,
Yes.
Yeah.
I do know he is known
He's
I was
scary,
very
dude.
Sure I was very sure to mention nothing of particular violence. Yeah.
The point that Runa's trying to make is that he saved Honorine's life and brought Hans back. It's like, and grandma seems to only be causing harm.
You're not getting the journal back until after you are. And she like just gestures to Rosen's belly.
so there's after Ruda says only causing harm. there's a
Oh,
moment
sorry.
where Rosa is kind of she's still there physically, does that make sense? But like in her mind, she's like back on the tower watching Anjay kind of like face off against the insectoid thing before Grandma like wrote it out of existence.
None of us knew that.
Right. And I'm
Oh, yeah.
aware, but Rosa
Rosa
does.
knows.
And
Yeah.
the memory comes totally unbidden by supernatural forces.
That was in character, by the way. That you're not getting the journal back until like
Yeah. And you kind of see Rosa almost, disassociate for a moment. And then she kind of comes back to herself.
are you really
Yeah.
that surprised that I would say like she mistakes the disassociation, and so she's like, "Are you really that surprised at that answer? Like, does it really surprise you?"
No.
Good, good.
That's just so much you all don't remember.
Don't remember what.
Without, and she holds up her hands to show the fate lashes. Without these, the Surnif would have already been through.
You know, it's hard to remember that, but I do remember you saying that when it all happened, what was going down. It's like a hole in the memories.
And it's because she erased them. Erased the Surnif thing that we had been dealing with.
I'm sorry, Honorine apparently just remembers like fire and fury at Redmond's without actually remembering why. And then Anjay was there, which kind of is funny.
That's kind of the highlight of the.
Also, Alejandra
Entire
possibly dying in the sewer. She was preoccupied.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
there's others.
an appropriate introduction. No, Alejandra in the sewer was a different. That was during the
Was
bear
during the
house fight.
Oh yeah, that was during the raid.
Oh,
wasn't
that too. Oh, hang on.
That was happening
I
at the
caught
same
up.
time. The
caught
fight in
up.
the theater was.
I caught up.
Yeah.
Kev's like, when I was in another line of work, one of the things that we would do in order to, he pauses, encourage membership was, he's like, what is the word? Carrot and stick. You offer piece of help, maybe save a man's life, and then you hold it over them. Or you use it as emotional blackmail. Who's to say the Mad Queen is any different? She seems like quite a
Sounds very
criminal.
much.
So who's to say she did not do the same with this thing we cannot remember?
See.
Well, or she was protecting her investment.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't feel like Gam Gam really has much attachment other than, you're the last of her bloodline that she knows of, and possibly the whole baby replacement thing to try and live again.
That just sounds so horrible.
Doesn't it? It's terrible. But Asura has a lot of stories about things like that, which probably tells you a lot about Asura, especially when winters get really bad. So yeah, I think there's some questions to be answered and possibly some people to be contacted before a final decision is made, my love. But I'll do whatever it takes to protect you and our
And
little
this is
future
why I
there.
wanted to make sure to bring it to you.
Well, now that most of my family is out of Montaigne for the moment, and there's very little I can do for that. Why don't I take a trip to Vidace and see what contacts I can make. I'll go with a Tori and a chaperone.
So not Anjay? It's gonna take them 4 times as long as it should to get there.
Or at least to get back.
So I think that the meeting is like wrapping up at that point. Um, uh, actually, are we good with like probably another 10 minutes? Because I think Len still needs to let everybody know, like,
Yeah.
and by the way, we've got like
yeah,
3
that-
days before war.
That's important.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna be like,
Yeah.
and I was a little swept up and tired when I got back, but Montague is going to make his move in 6 days. He needs every distraction that we can provide. I have a list of places based on his last scouting reports that forces could hit. Bruna, we're definitely going to need you to brew the biggest, angriest, nastiest storm that you've ever brewed in your existence.
I don't
on the
know that I can
state.
brew a nastier storm than I did in Valhalla, but that was a direct connection with one of the gods.
If you can do even most of what you just did there, even half, it'll be plenty to keep Posen and her forces miserable and undercover.
I can do my best. It's what I do.
It is. Also, the false Gaius has apparently gone crazy. He's sacking villages for all of their food and leaving my people to die. There are not only a lot headed towards Freiburg now, but there are a lot of them in Montague's camp. Montague is aware of what happened in the capital, and he's aware because a guy named, I forgot to type down his name. What was his name?
Hubert something.
Hubert de Goyer. I'm probably Goyer, probably butchering that, but
Goyer.
that sounds more like it. Yes. Was there? He'd been in Charus about a day ago when I reached the camp and was just telling him the emperor is no longer in the city. I don't think we know where he's currently holed up, but the capital is fully held by angry peasants. De Gloyer is headed here next. He'll probably want to make contact with whatever Montaigne factions he can in the city. He is part of the Werlaskir. He even had a little tattoo of it. Claims to just be an artist, but well, he would say that, wouldn't he? I just told him to ask for me when he gets in the city, if he wants to talk, and I think he's going to. And that's about it. We need to make whatever arrangements we can to assist with the distractions. It's assuming Freiburg still wants to get involved with this, because with the potential attack on Fischler lands, our support on the ground is going to be even thinner. I feel Fischler's going to have to reinforce as best he can to push back our newly minted One-Eyed Willie. And that's what I got. So I think I'm still wearing the Herald of Doom crown.
Yeah, you can keep that. I don't think anyone else wants it.
Sí, mi amor.
It
He
would not
actually
fit on my head.
pulls out. It's like a little circlet made out of twigs and twine, and he just kind of.
The Burger King
As
hat.
far as what Henri knows of Hubert de Gloyer, he's an artist and he's an extremely renowned one, both for his skill, but also for the fact that his works tend to uh, they tended towards a subtle radicalism. Does that make sense? They were designed to make people think, and think specifically about the sort of like excesses of the court and of the emperor in particular, while trying to remain subtle enough in their criticism that he did not get beheaded for it.
How well did he succeed? I mean, I know he still has his
Um,
head, but like, did he get in trouble or like...
He's not at
So
court
no
anymore.
head. Oh.
But that hasn't stopped his work from still remaining extremely popular. And like his pieces have started to become like a popular sort of like black market thing. That like, oh, you have a lawyer, like is, and even like the mention of like I'm looking to collect a lawyer is sort of like a a backhand way to indicate like you're not supporting Lamper. Does that make sense?
He's a Montaigne Banksy.
Kind of actually.
That's pretty cool.
I think my aunt would love to meet this guy actually.
Well, I'll
Um,
let you know.
But as far as like, can he be trusted? He is absolutely not in the employ of Lamper. He has like made his bread on that he is no fan and no friend of Lamper. So
And she's gonna share that information. Like, I know of this lawyer, and he is certainly, well, he's not storming the Capitol with the bunch of people that are occupying it right now, but he's a little bit of a radical. So he is not at court probably out of necessity and not out of choice.
he was known to be part of a salon of like Montaigne noblemen who were all kind of in the same boat. Does that make sense? And working through different media. Like I know that right now a sternly worded letter is kind of a joke, but like the propaganda that they were writing was pretty radical. It was designed not really to like radicalize people to violence, but like to like, hey, knock it off to the nobles. Or maybe don't unconditionally support this guy.
Yeah.
Etc.
Oh my
Um,
god.
Oh, and he wants to talk to our current Relaskier prisoners. He wanted the chance to speak to their defense in court.
Well, he's unlikely to try to break them free. No, sorry. I take that back. He's unlikely to try to kill them when he sees them. So,
This pleases me greatly. I would hate to have to hurt such a man.
Well, just leave his hand still functional.
A man is born with many ribs.
And I'm just going to mention it because I don't know if like it's been a long session. Len doesn't, and you might have forgotten about the sword with the mark on it.
Oh
I don't
yeah,
know if-
no, he's gonna bring that up too. There has been a lot.
been
I've been
many
trying to
things.
take down notes, but he's going to mention the blades that she had, the school, the fancy wavy fencing school, and the noble master blacksmith mark. It's like I don't know what house it might indicate, but
is Charlotte wears the pin of a Valro master?
yep, yes, she does. Either she's faking really well or she's capable of far more dedication. I mean, she really went over the books very thoroughly while I was watching. I kicked ink all over those books afterwards just for fun, but
For fun.
look, none of you know it was an accident. You weren't there. That was for fun and on
Meant to
purpose.
do that.
Like a true cat.
That's right.
So, Honorine recognizes first up, there's two things. One, if Charlotte being caught wearing a Master Swordsman pin would be like a downgrade in status for her.
Right.
So, So like there's no reason to do it for her as like a brag. Um it might ward off potential problems if she's on the road wearing that sword, and people going, "Oh, that's a master. I don't want to mess with them."
Hmm.
Um, but it also might be indicative that she's actually put like the time and the effort into it. The blade is more concerning because in Montaigne's past, there was a blacksmith who um, who was known as Dutraire, who was a master of like clockworks and blacksmithing, as well as porte magic, and he infused all three of them into the blades that he made. They had cunning tricks, they could do neat things with porte that nobody had ever seen before. And he took on two apprentices who were not as capable with magic and not as capable with smithing and not as capable with like clockworks, but they learned many of his tricks. They themselves took on two apprentices, and like the swords that they made have even less of like Dutraire's actual skill and stuff like that. But like 3 tiers down, one of those swords would fetch 1,000 guilder. An actual Dutraire blade would be well over 10,000.
Are there differences in the marks on those blades, or are they
Yes,
all okay?
what Len described was a Dutraire mark.
Don't like that.
Hmm.
Gav is going to have to be very careful when throwing this woman out the window.
Or sorry, not Dutraire, Matra. Matra is the name of the master smith.
Mm.
I mean,
His two
nature just
apprentices.
means master.
His two apprentices were Creer and Dutra. But it means that sword is marked with a major mark.
Ooh.
So this is the 10,000 gold master sword.
Yes.
10,000 guilder master sword. Yeah. And we know she has. Led doesn't know what any of that is. So these are these are the marks. I mean, they look like fine blades, but I couldn't see anything stand out about them besides those master smithing marks and the fact that it was probably some sort of Montaigne house.
It is just the French word for master, but the smith actually took that as his name.
Oh, okay.
It makes sense for Montaigne.
What? They're so known for their humility. What are you talking about?
Well, and it's not like master is in like, oh, my master. It's like master is in like sensei, like the like teacher, like instructive master. So I mean, it's a different kind of hubris than like what we might think of as somebody who changes their name to master.
Hubris.
It's the ego of his craft, not necessarily just like, oh yeah, I'm so great.
From the stories she's heard about those kind of swords, it's well earned hubris.
Yeah.
Like they're supposed to be able to do things like literally like strike people from a distance, like cut holes in the world, just weird shit.
Just be careful if you ever have her cornered.
Yeah.
Strike early and strike hard. Got it.
Even that might not be enough, depending, but it's the best we got.
Figuring.
So we've gone a little late. I'm sorry about that, but
that's all good.
Happy first game of the year, y'all. I'm gonna drop the curtain there. We're gonna pick up with Rosa at the next. And I'm
already forgot. Re-devastated.
Re-devastated. Okay. I love that like these cold opens were meant as like those would be cool. We can focus on one character. Now it's like not me in the hot seat.
1, 2, 3, not
get excited. I do get excited for the cold open. I'm just also like, what's he gonna do this time?
I get excited for the cold open when it's somebody else.
Yes, I get excited to watch someone else go through the cold open.
Because you have traumatized our characters with almost every cold open.
Because when the cold open happened, when the cold open happened where I was sitting right next to our GM, Like he still had no mercy. I'm still sobbing and I'm like 5 feet away from him. No mercy, nothing. This man.
Yep.
I'm sitting there like, can I have the tissues?
And he's being all like coy and cutesy about it. He's like,
I'm sorry, like
I'm like, sir.
I'm having a great time here, and I do know
Yes.
that I did invite you to torture my character.
Oh yeah.
And that's because I never stand down from shit.
It
I
is
don't know what's going on for you
consensual.
guys.
Oh
It-
yes.
Mine
It
involved
is
pretty
consensual.
cool, I
It
think.
is not
Right?
comfortable.
And honestly, my cold open today was so
Super
fine.
mellow.
It was
It
so
was so
chill.
fine.
well, and the thing is like I don't want to associate like every single one is going to be traumatic and every single one is going to have a huge plot reveal. I do sometimes
Discourse.
want it to just be no, her last one was not that. I do sometimes want it to just be like getting to see the character with somebody that they love, having the moment. Like for me, it was really important that we're gonna have a moment to just like be with her mom and embrace her and like hear that she was proud of her and like you're the captain of the Revenge now.
That was so cute.
Yay.
But that brings me to XP and who we're awarding tonight.
Runa, Runa, Runa.
Runa and
Honoring.
Rosa.
Rude.
Orin.
I've
I actually think Rosa probably nailed it. As much
mine
as
was-
I appreciate the nom.
Oh yeah. Oh, by the way, on top of all this, I'm pregnant. Surprise! Tell the council.
Yeah.
before I
This is a great
tell
moment.
baby
It's
daddy.
so Rosa to just miss that and
Yeah.
just blurt it out.
I
Was it
thought
just
it was
blurted
Len
out,
that
though?
blurted it out.
Len blurted it out.
Yeah, which was like even better for like the like what the fuck from Honorine. And the Rosa just like naturally being a Vidachi who's like, you are so bad at keeping secrets. Like
That was me when I was like, I thought you were supposed to be better. But
no,
actually,
but like like she embodied that Vidachi of like
Oh,
I kept it a secret for weeks. How did you just like this is the first
the,
big
the
meeting
face
we've
was
had.
perfect.
I
The face was
actually-
great.
I wanted so okay, so I know Rosa got actually a drama die for Loyal earlier. So I wanted to nominate like Len for just spilling that because actually that was a really great moment. And I know
That's
it
also
wasn't
very prideful.
So I had been meaning to give more drama dice for just like cool moments and like it's not even like prideful. It's just like that was a great moment of like spilling the juice.
Right.
And I sometimes when a scene is ongoing, I don't want to like bust in. So like what I'd like to do is I'm gonna give Rosa and Bruna the drama dice for the RP, but I do want to give Len a drama die for that scene. And
Nice.
and his blurting shit out in the most Len possible of ways.
That's
When possible.
He's not the Herald of Doom, he's the blurter of Doom.
The blurter of doom.
at the moment.
I can't keep my mouth shut.
Ah!
That was mean, Backile.
Was.
That was mean.
They found out that that was a tick earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Runa is well within her rights to tell Honorine to punch you in the shoulder later.
Don't worry, I'll do
Um,
it anyway.
Do it for
Okay.
England.
That was not
So-
how Rosa was going to tell him that she was expecting shit.
And
The best laid
honestly,
plans.
Well, the problem
Yeah.
is, I as a
Best
player was
laid
fairly certain that
plans.
Rosa had told people that she might be pregnant and
I-
asked for advice about it. So
I didn't know how to react because I thought we already knew. But that was all. We weren't there. I
It
realize
can be a
now.
little hard to keep track of like what we've just
Player.
watched and what we
Yep.
knew.
yeah,
Can be
Yeah.
after
I'm not taking-
episode
there
59.
was no taking
yeah,
it back when I
and-
realized. But
And congratulations, because this is episode 50. Like,
Whoa.
Ooh.
it's kind of awesome.
Hell yeah.
So,
I was just pulling a number out of my ass, so that's kind of cool.
okay. So we're gonna do 3 experience for tonight. The drama dice and bonus. Rosa, you got the +1. Len got a +1, and then Runa and Rosa both got the RP awards. Good.
So 3 XP? Yeah, okay.
No, you got drama dice as well.
Wait, I did?
No, like everybody gets their drama dice
Oh,
regular.
no. Yeah, I just was, 3 XP plus drama. Yeah, I got it. I'm good.
Nice.
All right. And we should probably close out of here, but
I forgot we were still on stream.
Yeah.
Professional streamers.
so good at this. I just have to say, all the like professional streamers that you see with like Dimension 20, so those are edited by editors after many hours. You get the real thing with us.
Before we hop off, I'm not mad about that. I get it. It was like you probably didn't even think about it. So I'm not mad about the tick thing. It's
Okay.
just something that happens. Sometimes something will be said that
Yeah.
kind of just my brain associates with a tick, and then the tick happens.
No, and I sometimes I just think things that I know are going to be funny and don't consider all the ramifications. I'm just like, I've got a funny thing to say and people need to laugh. And then I'm like, oh, I'm also an asshole. All right. Wow.
No, that's okay. I don't think you're an asshole. Like, it's totally fine. It
I
just
just-
happens.
I do.
So I want to ask a question about that. Because like in general, what I've tried to do when I know you're doing something that's a tick, I've tried to just like move past it without acknowledging it, without like laughing or anything. But if there's a better way than that, please let me know.
Moving past it is fine. Laughing, also fine. The stare at me like I'm a freak, not fine. That makes me want to disappear.
We can have this conversation off stream too. If
That,
you
that's
feel
true too.
comfortable.
And I was just
I
like,
forgot we were on stream again. I
just,
just wanted to get that out there on stream so that everyone knew that there wasn't bad blood.
yeah, I just figured you guys were doing this for like accountability to the audience. I was like, that's fine. That's chill.
Well, there was some of that for me of just like wanting to make sure that was the best way to handle things. So,
Yeah, that's fair.
but let me go ahead and read us out, and then we can talk about the rest of this like in the group. So, thank you for everyone watching us on YouTube or live on Twitch. Audience participation always means the world to us. And if you're on YouTube, smash the like, hit the subscribe, and make a comment in the down below. Here at Dirty 20, we always sign out with the same call to action: be nice, be kind when you have the spoons, but even when you're not, be nice. Be nice to strangers, be nice to family, be nice to your loved ones, and be nice to yourself. Thank you for coming on this journey with us. Thank you for being here for our 50th episode, and we will see you next week.
Bye.
Good night.